I'm Julius. I'm the Technical Director from Ground Developments. We're a stabilisation and enabling contractor. We also carry out civil contract works. This is a soil stabilised and earthwork site for Taylor Wimpey, who's a UK housing company. We're carrying out soil stabilisation work and later on civils works. At the moment, due to weather conditions, we're just doing some light work, but we're clearing out the area and bringing in material onto the site. So what we're principally doing is working on the housing plots, and we've got the machine control working in a way that we're able to clearly define what houses we're going to and where we're going to bring them up with material. Ground Development started using GPS, Trimble GPS systems, which has now become part of the SITECH brand, in 2010. They started out with one system on a dozer and quickly found that it was of significant benefit to them. So much so that it enabled them to use machine control in a way that meant that the manager or the operator on the dozer actually started taking control of the works. And so from then they started growing and we started using it more and more. What SITECH's done for us is that they've enabled us to use GPS in a way that's made it extremely efficient on our sites. So from starting out with one dozer unit to 2 dozer units up to 4 dozer units and higher units, we now have it fully on our fleets, from excavators to dozers, and starting to look at using it on rollers and on piling systems. And so what that's enabled us to do is bring a very technological approach to the way that we deliver our sites. So our designs from the office using Trimble Business Centre, which is a SITECH product, means that we can transfer data straight from the office out to the site instantly. The operators are able to see instant changes and make that work very effectively for us. Because we use the SPS system, we've got the TSC controllers, we've got the grade control system, we've got a very integrated solution, and it means that we can analyse. Well, one of the benefits, especially with bulk earthworks, is that we can analyse a site very quickly through either a surveyor walking around with the unit, giving instant data, feedback on stockpiles and that sort of thing, through to receiving data from an excavator or a dozer actually carrying out works on site. So it means that we get very quick information through to us so that we can analyse or review our site in a way that we can make changes or not make changes, or change the way the material's coming to site or material leaving site, the way that we're going to shift material around areas, and it really increases the approach that we have in delivering a site quicker for our clients. We're continuing to see a lot of growth in the industry, and that comes from getting more efficiency out of the site, and more efficiency, in our opinion, comes from using the latest technology. Now, SITECH have these new systems that's going to help us out with our piling solutions that we have, which becomes very efficient, and we've started using their Trimble Connected Community site as well, which is, and it enables you to instantaneously receive and send data and look at the site in a more of a holistic way, which is of huge benefit to us. So we'll continue purchasing equipment. The GPS, GNSS systems becoming better and better as more satellites are put up in the sky, and the accuracy for most applications is by and large all that you need for civil earthworks, stabilisation works. Ground Developments have found that by using the SITECH system that we've been able to refine the amount of staff that we have on site, because what we've done is transfer the knowledge base into the operator, and the operator's been able to deliver parts of the project that would otherwise had to have been delivered by an engineer on site. And so we've been able to transfer that knowledge to the operator, which means that it's a lot safer because you don't have someone walking around the site, which is always, with these big machines, it's critical that you are as safe as possible, and Ground Developments are aware of that. So the operator's happy, there's no one wandering around, but it's clean to clear a site, there's no stakes on the site, but the site gets delivered. And our clients have even said one of the great things about our sites and the way that we deliver them is that you can clearly see where the roads are, where the plots are, and the only way that we've been able to do that is through the technology that's been available. And that technology has meant that the operators can use the machines, and in this case the CAT machine's brilliant. We get a lot of efficiency out of the machine through the operator being able to work on an area very cleanly and clinically, and actually getting that area finished a lot quicker than what they've previously done. And this means that we're getting a lot more efficiency out of everything that we've got. The investment that we've made in the product pays for itself. From when machine control came out in the late 1990s, it's taken a while to take off because people were so used to using traditional setting up methods on site. And then what we've done is, so we've purchased some equipment and we hire some equipment depending on our use and depending on the projects we have on. But we've found that it's extremely versatile in that we can use it on an excavator for half the day, and then we can throw it over onto a dozer for the second half of the day. And what we've found is that on some projects we need to hire in plant. Generally we use our own fleet, but in some projects we hire in plant just to help finish off. And most of those plant now from different companies, they come pre-set up, ready to go with GPS. So we flick our equipment over, load up the design, and we're away running. Now that design is critical in the whole process. So there's a couple of things that are really important to how the system works. The way that we use the system is twofold actually. There's two ways. There's an independent base station which you can have set up on site, or you can use the virtual reference system. And that reference system works from a network that's run by, I think the iOS operate that network, and it gets a radio correction, and so you get relatively good accuracy. We find we get slightly better accuracy with the base station, so we prefer to use a base station. It's kind of personal preference, but it works for us. That base station, that's in a fixed location in a known mark, and then that transmits a corrected signal. And that corrected signal gets received in the plant, and it goes through a radio, gets fed into the computer, along with the receivers on the back of the excavator, that you then get your position on site. And that position on site enables you to work horizontally and vertically to around 20 mil accuracy, give or take. Sometimes 10 mils, 8 mils, 5 mils if we're having a really good day. So it's phenomenal, and it's meant that we actually get an exceptionally good product right around the park, from our site engineer using a rover, through to our dozer using it, through to the excavators using it. It's a total all-round solution that works really well. One of the other great things about the system is that it works in all weather conditions. So with GPS, obviously you can be limited by high-rise buildings, so it's not going to work in the inner city, but out in greenfield, brownfield sites where you've got open sky, it's a phenomenal system. It goes anywhere, anytime, under any weather conditions. So in the space of 10 minutes, obviously, we've gone from bright sunshine through to what was just snow before. The operator keeps on working, he's not held up by cold hands, you don't have the issue of riding on stakes, he just keeps on working with the system. So it's phenomenal, it really does work well for us.
Instantly I get live feedback on everything I'm doing, from cut, giving me the correct height, so I don't need to have an engineer coming out setting out profiles, setting up levers. I don't need to have a labourer running with a bone in it in all the time, and it's giving me live feedback basically instantly, so it's less bodies on the ground, and it works well for me.